I would like you to learn from this story. Emmanuel's father is a good man who wanted to take Emmanuel out to a pleasure park. And so he bought a fine cloth for Emmanuel, asked Emmanuel to wear the clothes, which Emmanuel did. And when Emmanuel came out, the father was happy that his son was looking good. The father appreciated the way Emmanuel appeared. However, Emmanuel's father asked Emmanuel if he had eaten, and Emmanuel said no. The father told Emmanuel, go to the kitchen, you will see the food that your mother prepared for you. Take the food and eat. But before eating, Emmanuel's father brought an apron and asked him, please, make sure you cover the fine and beautiful clothes you are putting on so that the oil from the food will not stain your clothes. Emmanuel started eating, and this was what Emmanuel did.
Oh man, I was time for this thing. Every time where I come for what's going on. I don't have time for when I come on, just like that. Hey, Daddy told me let me wear this apron. I'm trying for this same clothes. Oh God. I shall not be wanting to. Oh God. Oh, frustration is this.
Okay, my boy, how is it going? Are you feeling better?
I'm satisfied with it.
Yeah, okay. All right, please, you can send it inside and come out and pull the apron and come out so that we can go. Send it inside, send it inside. Jesus! Jesus! Emmanuel, what is this? Now, having discovered what Emmanuel did, the father of Emmanuel was so furious with Emmanuel. The father of Emmanuel was so angry with Emmanuel. Emmanuel, did I do wrong to plan a visitation to the pleasure park for you? Emmanuel, did I do wrong to buy you a new clothes? I deemed it fit to take my son out on a visitation. And Emmanuel, is this how you want to pay me back? That I gave you a simple instruction and you neglected the instruction I gave to you. Emmanuel, what has come over you? Emmanuel, is this how I have been training you? The father of Emmanuel was so furious, was so angry with the actions of Emmanuel. The father of Emmanuel went on to say, well, Emmanuel, I had the best in mind for you. I planned the best for you. I went to the extent of emptying my account to make you look good. Today happens to be one of those days I want to prove to you how much I have loved you. But you have dampened it. You have used disobedience to soil all the plans that I had for you. Emmanuel, the point is, you cannot be like this and go to visit the pleasure park with me. You cannot be like this and go to the pleasure park with me. Since there is no other provision, and this is the only one that looks very, very much presentable. Emmanuel, we are not going to that pleasure park today. It will be on another day that I will have chance. But Emmanuel, you wouldn't go scot-free. You will have to launder this cloth and get it back to shape. Emmanuel, go back to the bedroom, fetch some water, get detergent, apply the detergent into the water, soak the cloth and begin to wash the cloth. Emmanuel felt bad. Emmanuel felt so bad. He started regretting the actions he took. Emmanuel did not know what else to do because this happens to be one opportunity that Emmanuel had been waiting for. And here comes the opportunity. Out of his carelessness, he missed out. Well, Emmanuel went inside, fetched some water, applied detergent, and started washing the cloth. It was a painful experience for Emmanuel, and it was a sad experience for the father of Emmanuel. Whatever the case may be, Emmanuel lost out that day. Emmanuel did not go to visit the pleasure park again. And his father was so angry with him. Emmanuel, 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 what came over you? Cried the father of Emmanuel. Beloved, listen. What lessons are to be learned from that little drama? Very simple. It takes less to prevent, and it takes more to launder. Listen. It takes less to prevent sin in the life of a man, but it takes more to launder away sin from the life of a man that has been plagued by sin. How do I mean? How do I mean? Let us go back to the Old Testament and juxtapose what happened to Adam with what we are going to see in the New Testament. Now, in the Old Testament, the sin that Adam committed happened in a moment. God had told Adam, "Thou shalt not eat of the fruit from the tree in the middle of the garden, the fruit of good knowledge of good and evil." Now listen, very simple instruction. Thou shalt not eat. Very simple. Now, Adam disobeyed that instruction. And immediately, it took him a moment, just a moment to disobey that instruction. Just a moment. Immediately he ate in a moment. All the consequential effect of sin fell upon Adam and his generations. Just one moment of disobeying a simple instruction. All those things fell upon Adam and his generation. Now, God started the process of laundering the image of that Adam. Do you know how much it cost God to launder that thing that happened in a moment because of a simple neglect to instruction? Do you know what it took God? The process of time, the stress, the psychological and emotional effects of laundering that image. Let's go to the book of Matthew chapter 1 verse 17. In Matthew chapter 1 verse 17, the Bible says, from Abraham to David is 14 generations. From David to the exile into Babylonian captivity, another 14 generations. From the Babylonian captivity to the time Jesus came to this earth to die, to launder the image of Adam, another 14 generations. If you add these together, it is 14 generations plus 14 generations plus 14 generations, making it 42 generations. Now, from Adam to Abraham, those generations were not captured. So from Adam to Abraham is X generation because it's unknown. Now add it all of them. The time frame it took to launder that simple mistake that Adam did is X generations plus 42 generations. That is the time frame it took God to launder the image of the fallen Adam. And then another Adam called the last Adam. The last Adam, the second man, had to come to launder that image. Why another Adam? Why another immaculate Adam? A dirty man does not stand or have the right to wash away his fellow dirty man when he is carrying dirty. So it has to be a very immaculate, perfect, clean Adam that is qualified to come and wash the dirty Adam. And that was why in all the earth, there was none that was found. And the devil was happy. Oh, I have gotten what I'm looking for. He knew that there was none, but he didn't know what God was planning. God himself had to come down in the flesh, in the form of Adam. He came as Adam, and the Bible called him the last Adam. He came. And when he came, look at what happened to him. Just to launder the image of the first Adam. See what happened to the last Adam. So many people will argue that Jesus, when he came on earth, he was fully man. Nobody is arguing that it's true. He was fully man. But hear this. In as much as he was fully man, he was also fully God. So whatsoever they did to Jesus as a full man, they did to Jesus also as a full God. They stripped, humanity had to strip God naked to launder the image of the fallen Adam. Humanity had to spit on God to launder the image of the fallen Adam. Humanity had to tear the garment of God and cast lots on that garment in order to launder the image of the fallen Adam. Humanity had to beat God In order to launder the image of the fallen Adam, humanity had to kill God, crucified God on the cross of Calvary, shed his blood in order to launder the image of the fallen Adam. That sin that happened in a moment. Look at all the processes. Look at everything it now took God in order to launder the image of that fallen Adam. That thing that happened in a moment. What could have prevented? Now, have you seen it? That it takes less to prevent and more to launder. It takes less to prevent and more to cure. You know, a man cried. He cried bitterly when he looked at his two-story building demolished. He was crying because he built the two-story building on a wrong right of way. So the government started demolishing everything that was found within that right of way. And then when they demolished his two-story building, he was not just crying that his two-story building was demolished. Do you know his tears? He said, what took me 2 years? My sweat, my pain, my money, my everything, 2 years. Just within the space of 1 hour, what took me 2 years has been brought down. Beloved, do you know what it took God to bring the salvation you are joking with? The salvation you are joking with, do you know what it cost God? What it took God? Just in a moment, you want to destroy the salvation that Jesus has given to you. Beloved, please, if you know what it will cost you to prevent falling prey to the antics, the gimmicks of the devil, if you know what it took God to bring the salvation that the devil is about to steal away from you, you will do everything possible to prevent it. Somebody will be complaining, it's difficult to live a Christian life. It's difficult to live a Christian life. Beloved, it was more difficult for God to bring that salvation that you are now claiming that it's difficult to live a Christian life. Walk out your salvation with fear and with trembling, and it shall be well with you. God bless you. If you like what you've heard, please share and drop your comment. See you in the next episode.